Well, I guess give folks a minute or so to get on here. I wanted to make sure that I was all kind of set up. So I'm outside, so got a little bit of sounds happening with some construction and things, but my name is Matt Harlan and I'm right here in Houston, Texas, and I just went live on Americana Highways page. Play some songs. I dig their site and what they've been doing for everybody while everything's been happening. Y'all are already watching, which is pretty cool, and thanks to Melissa for setting this up and to Adam Dawson for passing my name along. I guess I'm gonna get things rolling. I thought, since it's Americana Highways, I would play some songs that have to do with the road, you know, as a symbol or a metaphor and things like that. And so I figured I'd start with this one from my third album called Raven Hotel, and it's sort of looking forward to better times, I guess, you know. And I guess we all kind of could use that positivity right about now. So we'll see how it goes. It's about sitting under trees like this and just sort of letting things pass by and thinking about the good times. Streets are alive, sounds of the morning, hustling engines, off to the show. Highways a glitter, like the skin of some dancer. Late night addiction, miles to go, and I've heard enough. This radio station ain't saying much, just talking to talk. Curtains come up, we all take our places. Shuffle ball chain through the tailpipe exhaust. Hard times and trouble weighing on you. One way or another, it's bound to cut loose. It's neath the trees with that old Spanish moss. And I wish we could laugh like the clumsy old river trips through the hills with his eyes on the moon, sings as he sways. The Lord loves a giver. We whistle along to a different tune. It's a bow to the caller. Hold your arms wide. It's a turn for the baby and a turn for the bride. Just work to keep working. It's a waltz to a waltz. We'd rather be dancing neath the old Spanish moss. Now the dancer, she's dreaming of a hillside confession, the smell of salvation, soft country wind. And Jesus says, baby, Life's a 3-chord progression. We'll pick it back up when it comes round again. Hard times and trouble are weighing on you. One way or another, it's bound to cut loose. Down by the water, it's time to get lost. Dance neath the trees with that old Spanish moss. So yeah, man, that's you know, kind of an older song of mine. I saw the stream cut out for a second. I hope everything is back. It looks like everything's good. Did I hit the oh? All right, cool. Never mind. Finish was not what I thought it was there. It'll pop back up in a second. I'm gonna tune up. I thought I saw somebody say that it wasn't sounding good and I needed to do something else. This whole thing is new stuff to us all. So yeah, I thought I would play some road songs, and I was thinking when I was playing this one the other day for a different stream that I hadn't thought about it, but kind of the isolation that we find ourselves in right now. There's a lot of similar professions and, you know, walks of life that people find themselves in that exact sort of spot all the time, and one of them being truck drivers, right? You know, I mean, who's ever thought about, you know, how much time they spend just kind of hanging out by themselves all the time, you know? So if you're having trouble trying to get through this stuff, you know, talk to a friend of yours as a truck driver and see what they do. You know, they probably got endless ideas about how to pass the time. And it just so happens that I have a couple tunes that have to do with truck drivers. This is the most recent one, and it's on my latest album called Best Beasts. And I wrote it with my buddy Colin Raftery here in Houston. We were sitting in this exact area, a little closer to the door. I'm kind of staying a little away from the house. There may be a lot of bird sounds, but there's no baby sounds. So although they're dear and near to my heart, they might not do so well for a live stream. But Colin and I were sitting out here, and he had brought this idea that started as not really even an idea yet, as much as it was just a thought, an observation. He said, "Did you know that truck drivers call Kentworth trucks K&Ws? You know, it's kind of this thing that they, you know, along with the lingo." And I was like, I never knew that. You know, I've seen the trucks, seen the Kenworth, seen the Max, seen all this stuff, but I didn't know that particular abbreviation. And so we just sort of ran from there and ended up with this tune. And I was lucky enough to have Kelly McQuee sing along with it on the album, but I'm gonna have to be doing all the parts myself. So if I don't sound as pretty as she does, you know, tell her that she does a better job when you talk to her next. Ooh, sorry, I can't abide an out-of-tune B string, because that string's gonna be ringing this whole time. All right, fixed up. This old dirty barroom, no one cares who you know. On the wrong side of Cleveland, like a worn out old joke. Drove all day to get here, and now the night's coming on, dragging out every haunted old memory to welcome me home. Heavy eyes drifting off the long bobtail run, made it clean up from Charleston neath the November sun. But the phone just kept ringing, so I guess you ain't home. Hell, I hope you ain't out dragging up while I'm tying one on. Yeah, this old K&W is blue and it's white, painted up just like my Saturday night on this lonely parade, winding around in the out on 77. I can push it all down when the high lines stop moving. I'm afraid I might drown in my own bad decision or the sound of the rain. But you shattered my heart, and this old rig just rattles my brain. So I roll out this morning with a fistful of pride, hit Alonzo's off Sunset, feeling halfway alive. It's been years since I've seen it, and you know I just might buy some cocaine and cotton and find me some new place to hide. Yeah, this old K&W is blue and it's white, painted up just like my Saturday night on this lonely parade, winding around in the wind. I've been out in the cold for too long to just stumble back in. All wrapped up in chrome like some rubberneck scene, left there alone with the fire and the first flashing light. You're the drug that I need more than this. Hell, I tried to get clean, but I died for your kiss. I'm wrecked either way, so I might as well go out in style. Yeah, this old K&W, burning jackknife, lighting up somebody's Saturday night on this lonely parade, finding one last way to bend. I've been out in the cold for too long to just stumble back in. Hey, all right, I'm trying to check on this stuff at the same thing here, make sure that, oh, hey, I know some of you folks. All right, James and Laney, how are y'all doing, man, up there in the Northeast? And Melissa, again, yeah, thanks for doing all this stuff. All right, I made some notes. I actually made a set list because, you know, when you're sitting and looking at 30 minutes of time, you want to make sure that you use it wisely, right? I'm not always a set list kind of guy. Today I am. Here is the title track of my latest album called Best Feasts. I wrote it by myself as one of the ones I wrote on my own. And I was thinking about a couple of things. And one of them was, there's this thing, and hopefully I don't lose some of you eyes there talking about this, but there's this initiative, this national initiative that from government that was about the be best, right? Have you heard about that? Like, be your best self online and be nice to people and don't do opiates and stuff. And I thought it was interesting. I thought it was an interesting thing to be talking about for various reasons. But it made me think about, you know, our current situation and what that might mean on a grander scale, you know, and also that it's trying to be our best person all the time. If you know, if we're being honest, and it's hard. It's a struggle. We don't always win that struggle. And so this song is for everybody. You know, it might come from a place of inspiration that's a very singular spot, but it's intended to be for, you know, more broad and reaching out to cross divides and stuff, and realizing that, you know, if anybody tells you they're the absolute best at something, you know, maybe they should rethink that sometimes. I think that's the good way to go. Pick me up and take me for a ride. Flip me over like a 45. Drag me tumbling through the riptide. I need to look the way I feel tonight. fucked up and twisting on my axis sand, hailing lies to find the truth in them, strung out on pills that feel like heroin. Man, I'm no different than you. I am no different than you. Lit up like gods are barely getting by, concealing secrets from our darker sides. Man, I can't stop it, how about you? We are no different. From West Virginia to the Golden Coast, thin-skinned and howling on the radio, no single one of us immune. Got you certain of the world you know, half stitched together where the seams all show, no single one of us in tune. But we're just trying to be the best beast we can be, the best beast we can be, the best beast we can be, and find a way to sleep, the best beast we can be, best beast we can be, best beast we can be. Don't dig too deep. Hanging on the ships that sailed away, pretending things should always be this way. The future's coming for you soon. We're all so certain of the world we know, half stitched together where the seams all show, no single one of us in tune. We're just trying to be the best beast we can be, the best beast we can be. Best beast we can be, best beast we can be. Don't dig too deep, you'll see. Best beast we can be. So yeah, that's the title track of the newest album. I know that the thing cuts out a little every once in a while. I'm sorry. This is as close as I can get to my router without y'all hearing all the inside sounds, which I guarantee are different than the outside sounds. So hopefully it's under control. It seems to be fairly steady, you know. But I got my trusty set list here, so at least I know what song I'm gonna do, and I'm not just sitting here rambling. So I was talking about truck drivers and truck driving song as well, and it's a different thing. It's a tune. You know, I'm just gonna move closer, right? How about this? We're gonna play a little audible here, and I'm gonna walk over here into a different spot of the house, and we'll see if that helps. I can't in good conscience sit there and just not do something. So here we go. All right. Hopefully this is a little bit better. You got a good view of my speaker right there. And now we got bamboo instead of pecan trees. Well, hopefully this keeps the stream a little more solid. Sorry about that. This is a song about a truck driver teaching his kid how to drive. We'll drop it down another gear. Road slick this time of year. The curve will come up quick, send us flying. You know I've been around, traveled up this way and down. No rush out here, it's worth the chance of dying. The tracks are flat and worn, let them guide you. The scars leave a compass on your skin. You'll find a higher place that you can climb to. Just leave a trail to show them where you've been. See those smooth spots on the wheel? That's experience you feel. White knuckles gripping down and holding tight. Stayed on the road for days, truck stops and KOAs. This dashboard picture got me through each night. The edges rounded down, the image faded. Two children and a wife all hand in hand. My place behind the lens insinuated by a shadow and a footstep in the sand. But don't it all seem to pass like a spring storm on the glass? If you weren't there, you'd swear it never rained a drop. Outside looking in, swear we're left to start again. Drew it before I knew it, and I wish that you just stopped. Drop it down another gear till the dark clouds disappear. Just think of how your mother'd end up crying. You know I've been around, traveled up this way and down. No rush out here is worth the chance of dying. So yeah, it's another tune off of an album called Raven Hotel, and I wrote it back before I had a kid. Cause a lot of my friends were having kids, and they were writing these songs. I was, that's cool, you know. And I was kind of getting inspiration off of them and their stories. And now that I've got a baby, it has a different meaning to me, in the sense that I still feel, you know, that idea that you want to be there for someone and provide for them and teach them, but I feel a lot less like I would be down for just spending all that time away, right? And I guess I probably figured that's how I would feel when I wrote it. Turned out to be true. When we get back to the transportation songs to play off the Americana Highway, I grew up in a small town called Bernie, Texas, which is outside of San Antonio, and you know, things are a little slower paced in a small town. I live in Houston now, and it's a larger city. There's a lot more going on, and there's oftentimes I kind of long for that slower pace. And this was kind of me kind of trying to channel that a little bit when I was in another small town north of here called Conroe. And I was sitting outside waiting for a gig to start where I was just a guitar player, and somehow or another I was the only one who showed up early for this gig. So I was sitting there by myself, and I had a couple of minutes to just kick it and enjoy my beer and wait for everybody else to get there. And before I knew it, this train just started laying on its whistle, and it would roll through town, you know. And then I thought things were cool, all right, quiet down a little bit again. And then it seemed like it just turned back around and come the other way. And I was like, okay, well, I may be disturbed, but I got an idea for a tune. And so I wrote this song sitting on the porch of the corner pub, and I went in and played it at the end of the band set. And it hasn't changed since then. On the album, I was lucky enough to get Mickey Raphael to play harmonica, and I was like just over the moon about that. If you know who that dude is, I got a story about how excited that made me, but that's for another time. Night when I find myself too wound up to calm myself, I sit and I listen, wait for the whistle slow moving train. When the light of the day's gone dark and inspiration's a dying spark, I wander alone where the poets have roamed, seek their own way. And I can picture the miles of track headed northbound and coming back. Old conductors in rusted cars, all the hobos have long since passed, so I can't hitch a ride myself. And when I'm worried I find myself, my ears trained to listen, I wait for the whistle, slow moving train. Wish I could stroll away, leave the wreck far behind me, but I can't hardly roll away with all that's buried inside. So at night when I find myself too wound up to calm myself, I sit and I listen, wait for the whistle, I sit and I listen, wait for the whistle, slow moving train. Got a chorus of birds behind me, that's kind of fun. Let's just check on the time and see if it shows up here. I don't know that it even does. I had it going on my cool little computer setup over there, but I don't have it over here because I didn't grab my computer. So hopefully, I got at least a song or two left. Anybody saying, oh, nobody? Oh, there's Jennifer. She lives in Conroe. That song was for you. If you missed it, I'm sorry. So this whole thing has got everybody all kinds of whacked out in new experiences and new places and new realities, you know. And it really hit home for me a couple of days ago. A good friend of mine, one of the first people I met when I moved to Houston, named Steve Reno, I got word that he passed away from COVID-related complications. And man, that really kind of brought it out. You know, I'd not had that kind of direct contact with this until then, aside from friends that got it and you know, we're okay. Knocked me for a loop, knocked the whole music community for a loop around here. So I wanted to send this tune out to friends of Steve's, and you know, anybody who's thinking about him, anybody who's thinking about folks that they haven't seen in a while. Anyway, this goes out to Steve and to Nanette and everybody who dug the guy. And if somebody wants to comment on how much time I have before 6:30, please do, because my clock is way over there. Anyway. I don't deny myself a drop or two at dinner time. I won't admit to half the things you think I'd never try. I ain't no fool. Lift your head, they pull the trigger. It's the battles that you choose that keep you safe. The war is something bigger. I lit out angry at the trains passing by the way. Threw my hands up and I hollered out for it to rain. Silence was strong, and I think the message was delivered. Just a voice out in the wilderness, calling out to something bigger. There's a single star that makes the morning bright. Turn the shade, a million points of light. They've been there all along. The old man rambled soft and low about his golden days, closed his eyes and drifted off to sometime far away. The silver room went cold. Said the angels come to get her. Another shovel full of tumbling dust on the road to something bigger. There's a single star before the evening falls. Pull the shade, ah, you can see them all. They've been there all along. You've never been alone. I haven't played that song in a while, but I wanted to play it tonight for old Steve. May he rest in peace. Wonderful friend. I guess I probably got time for one more, if I remember my set list properly. I think I have this one to play, and it is a song of goodbye, but also a song of see you later. You know, we don't really know when that is right now, but I sure hope that it's sooner than later. And I hope that everybody's doing well out there. Thanks again to Americana Highways, to Melissa, and again to Adam for setting all this stuff up. I believe, if I remember correctly, that next up we got Renee Wall, and there's a good lineup continuing through this little session. So I hope that y'all are having a good one, and I hope to see you somewhere down the line. Mozart will always be Mozart, just like disco will always be dead. Me, as long as I'm living unchanging, each drop of sweat that rolls off my head. And the falling will always be certain, but the landing don't have to be hard. Yes, and sometimes you'll find when you're knocked down a level, you're free to decide who you are, 'cause a new day is dawning with every day's end. We might be returning to clay, so make use of your lungs while you can. One thing I've read is true, shade's bound to close on you, so turn another leaf over, all you broke down high rollers, and I'll see you the next time around. Never go back where you came from. All the dirt roads are highways now, friend. But it gets me to thinking this has already happened, and I'm just passing through once again. And that sign by the side of the railroad ain't changed since I lived here, it seems. But there's rust that keeps growing at the speed of a century. Grandkids might know what I mean, 'cause a new day is dawning. With every day's end, we might be returning to clay. So make use of your lungs while you can. One thing I've read is true. The shade's bound to close on you. Last words to my brothers, all you lost and you lovers. See you the next time around. 'Cause you know Mozart, he will always be Mozart. A young man who went and laid himself down. Me, as long as I'm living, unchanging. Each drop of sweat that rolls off my brow. Oh, as long as I'm living, unchanging. Each drop of sweat that rolls off my brow. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I want to say happy anniversary to my lovely wife Marie, if she's watching inside there. We have our 1-year anniversary on Monday, so we're excited about that. Anyway, I hope y'all have a wonderful one. Stay tuned for Renee, and I'll talk to you soon.